Paul, it's a terrific run of form you're on at the moment.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. Results and performances have been good. So long may it continue.
And obviously, I mean, it's all part of the, one of the tests for you, isn't it? Getting on that good run of form. How do you make sure you stay on it once you're on it?
I think it's again, it's the clear message, consistent training. Keep the standards high, and keep trying to replicate what we've been doing. It's not always as easy as that, but I think just ride the crest of a wave. The boys are confident in training. You can see that, and it's almost just let them go a little bit. Just keep drip feeding in little bits and bobs that we want, and that's our fundamentals, non-negotiables, if you like. And making sure they enjoy it. You don't. Teams go on good runs. It's not very often you win 5 games on the trot, but we can't just sit there and go, we've won 5 on the trot now. That's perfect. We can take our foot off the gas and it will all be okay, because it won't. You've got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it.
Yeah, you half preempted my next question actually, which is obviously, I mean, the fans will look at Tonbridge, look at where they are on the table, and say, well, that's a home bank of football. Doesn't work like that, does it?
No, it doesn't, and I understand that viewpoint definitely. But I've watched their last 3-4 games. Might not be as easy as people think.
Yeah, their results suggest they're decent away from home, don't they?
They've got a very good away record, much better than their home form. So, but obviously we've got a good home form. So something's got to give on Saturday. But we'll be physically ready, and we're looking forward to it.
Any fresh knocks after Saturday?
No, it's actually some good news actually. So we came through Chelmsford injury free. Ed Palmer has trained this week, so he'll be back in the squad for Saturday. Cody Cook and Manash Sunday are back on the grass. They're running very hard, so that's good. And obviously Worthy and Cower unavailable.
So at the moment, there's no great urgency to strengthen any further at this moment?
No, I think obviously we've brought in Sonny Sharples and Kieran Wilson, who have both done great. Not actively looking to strengthen at the moment.
Yeah, great moment for Wilson on Saturday as well.
Yeah, I've been after him for quite a long time. I like him, not just his physicality. I think he's about 6'3". He's a good size for an 18-year-old, but he's the biggest thing is he wants to be here. We spoke before, haven't we, about recruitment, about lots of players that I speak to. Or I'm not sure, it's a little bit too far away. Logistically, it works obviously because he's Exeter based, but he wants to be part of the group. He's fitted in very, very well for a young lad. He's confident, and I think, well, I know they think very highly of him at Exeter. Gary Caldwell loves him, and you can see why. He's come in and done well. He obviously scored for their 21s as well against Luton last night. So he's in a good run of form, and also Sonny Sharples as well, who's we haven't seen a lot of, but that's because of the results in the form of Hayfield and Low Everton. But Sonny Sharples in training's really, really good football player. I like him a lot, and he's fitted into the group great as well. So it's important they've done that.
And I mean, it's good to have those connections, particularly with the likes of City and Argyle, isn't it? Because they are higher leagues. They will have players that, if they see Wilson doing well here, for example, that can only be a good thing.
Yeah, I think if I look at it from the other side, I think it's a great loan move for Kieran. It's a fantastic loan move. Obviously playing at a big club, great crowds, a team that's going well as well, and also a squad that's together and a squad that's very welcoming as well. We got good people. They're good lads. So I think it's a no-brainer for that loan.
Brilliant. Thank you, Paul.
Cheers.
You touched on it there, Richard. I think you used the phrase "band of brothers" in a column this week. How important has it been for the players to pull together? It's been a little bit of a bumpy road off the pitch the last couple of weeks, but they've really stuck together, haven't they? Tell me a bit more about that.
Well, they have. It comes down to recruitment again, where the first factor is he a good player? Yes, that's the easy bit. That's the easy bit, because I'll make my mind up very quickly whether I think they're a good player and they fit into the system or not. But the hard research comes into their characters, what they're like as people, what they're like around the club, what they're like in training. So there's an awful lot of research goes into that. You're quite right what you say. It's been a little bit of a bumpy road, but the boys have dealt with it really, really well. and there is a togetherness. Now, togetherness is easy when you're winning games. It's very easy. When you're not winning games, that's when true character shows through, and resilience, and being quite bulletproof. One thing about this current group, a little bit like last year's group, but more evident for me this season, is that they deal with disappointment very, very well. And you will always have disappointment in football games, and you'll always have disappointment you'll have disappointment in life every day. It's how big that disappointment is. Sometimes it's very, very small. You've run out of milk in the fridge, it's disappointing. But sometimes it's bigger things than that. In a game of football, you misplace a pass, it's disappointing. You've got to get over it quickly. When you concede a goal, it's disappointing. You've got to get over it quickly because the game never stops. So I think we've got a resilient bunch in that. The Worthing game was a case in point. 2-0 down, you could hear a pin drop when they scored their second goal. They rallied round, they regrouped. Unfortunately, we got the win, but they are a resilient bunch. I think it's really important going forward that a team and a unit and a squad has got that. I think it's a resilient football club.
And going against that in a way and picking out one player, but Jordan Young, is there a better striker of a dead ball anywhere around at the moment? Everybody knows what he's going to do, but they can't stop him. He's
got great technique, but it's not a fluke. Young, he practices it every day, and he works hard on it. It was a hell of a strike Saturday. It had everything, So no, he's very good technically. He's as good as our coach, really. Technically, he's a fantastic player. But one thing with Jordan as well is he works hard at his game. He works hard, and because his goal contribution is so high, as in scoring and his assists, sometimes it's easy to not see the work he does off the ball. He works hard. He gets through an awful lot of distance in a game, and defensively he's always back doubling up as well. So at the moment he's in a great run of form, and long may it continue.
Before the Chelmsford game, you and I were chatting, and you said to me, we're going to have to defend very well this Saturday.
Yeah.
And clean sheet wins.
Yeah.
How important do you think it is at the moment that clean sheets, I know you conceded 2 against Worthing, but they're one of the best sides in the league, is to go and get a clean sheet at Chelmsford was the key to winning the match, wasn't it? Is that something in the back of your mind at the moment going forward? Because it almost guarantees consistency, doesn't it, not conceding goals?
It does, you're quite right. And to get a clean sheet at Chelmsford was excellent. So I don't think there'll be many teams that go there and do that. They've got a big attacking threat. Now, first half, and we had one chance, didn't we, Youngie, first half. We weren't really in their half, to be honest. But we were pretty comfortable. It wasn't an onslaught. It wasn't wave after wave of attack. I don't know if you remember, but they had a corner with about 30 seconds to go with the first half, and I turned to Mike and I just went, getting at 0-0, we'll win this. And we obviously we did, because you're keeping a clean sheet. We've got players who, did we have loads and loads of chances against Chelmsford? No. We had 2 moments of real high quality. And I think we've got that in the team. So you're quite right. If we can keep a clean sheet, I fancy us to score. I do fancy us to score in most games. And that was the case on Saturday. So listen, ex-defender, clean sheets for me are everything. But away from home especially, keep a clean sheet, you've got a right chance.
I understand that we won't have the pleasure of your company on the touchline on Saturday, Paul. No. Is that
players are made up?
You could,
yeah.
Well, you can go and sit with a couple of the people who have a go at you.
Yeah. Yeah. Be interesting to see it from their viewpoint.
And that's not come out of the totting up process on bookings or anything.
No,
like
it's it was retrospective action after the Worthing game. Yeah, look, myself and the 4th official had a disagreement over the amount of injury time. And I've been reported for it, so it's my fault. But yeah, I won't be on the touchline Saturday. But the boys are in a good place. Mike Edwards, obviously I trust, with my life. So it's hopefully it doesn't make too much of a difference.
I think it's the second time you've had a touchline ban. Where did you go?
Second time at Torquay. I've had quite a few.
Torquay. Sorry. too far back. How did you handle it? Where did you go? Did you sit up in the family stand?
The last time I sat in Bristow's with Michael Westcott, and he said after the game he'll never watch a game of football sat next to me again. So I need to find out. I don't want to be in the director's box. I don't want to watch it behind the goal.
Press
Maybe
box
come and
is
sit with you in
yeah,
the press box.
box.
Yeah.
No problem.
Have a sandwich and a cup of tea watching it. So, I don't know. I need to work that out. But I'm disappointed. It's not ideal, but
No.
it's one of those things.
David said out there, actually, he's keeping an eye on the levels of attendances in this division. There was 2 big games in the week.
Yeah.
Big games in this division that didn't get much over 400.
Okay.
So our crowd is really important, isn't it?
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. It makes a hell of a difference. We've got players who embrace that now. It doesn't always work. Some players are scared of it. Some players are in fear of making a mistake in front of big crowds. I think we've got players who I don't think it's any bad thing having 3 or 4 players with an ego. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Sometimes egos need fueling, and when you're doing well in front of 3,500, 4,000 fans, your ego inflates, and I don't see it as a bad thing at all. Goes without saying how appreciative we are of the fans, home and away. And I say it all the time, and I said it after Chelmsford as well. And it's not a flippant remark. It's expensive. It's expensive to watch football, especially with Christmas coming up and things. I understand that. I get that completely, and I really appreciate it. We all appreciate it.
There's a good example of what Richard was talking about. You're talking about the crowd. In the last home game against Worthing, Jordan Thomas had a fairly torrid opening 15-20 minutes where a whole series of passes went astray. And yet he bounced back from that in the second half and was one of our best players in the second half. Played well again at Chelmsford. He's one of the ones that you look at, and presumably you have confidence that he is mentally tough enough and strong enough to come through spells like that. Because it was one of those days where you wondered when he's going to hit a white shirt.
He's
a yellow shirt.
I've got a lot of faith in him. When we signed him on loan last year from Yeovil, and signed him permanently in the summer. What I will say about JT is he's incredibly strong mentally. He found himself out of the team earlier in the season. He doubled down on his work ethic. He worked even harder in training than before. He never come knocking on my door. He was exemplary in his attitude, waited for his chance, and he's took it. And that's exactly how I think football players should react. They don't all react like that, but I've got a tremendous amount of faith in JT.
Speaking about our other fullback, we were lucky enough to have a chat with Denzel on the train. We just happened to bump into him on the way home on Saturday, and he doesn't strike me as though he is a lad with a big ego. I found him very humble, polite, quiet, and I think that goes a long way, really. Do you speak to the players about how they should be conducting themselves out and about? Because that's going around Torquay now. He's a nice lad. I think that's important.
I do. I think that's important as a human being. I would like to think I've brought my children up that way as well. So not just in a football environment, but you don't want your players to be talked about as egotistical and not having time for people and that big time show. We haven't done anything. We've got no right to be big time. Humility, I think, is a fantastic trait in people. I think it's a good trait in players. A case in point, we won at Chelmsford on Saturday. It's our 5th win on the trot. Everything's hunky-dory, lovely, beautiful, 1-2 nil. The first thing was Louis Dennis coming to the change room. No screaming and shouting from our changing room. Music on, but nice and low. Humility, I like it. I'm not into banging doors down and screaming and shouting when you win a game, because we haven't done anything. We've played 20 games. We're not even at Christmas. We've done nothing. So I think humility is I think it's a good characteristic in a human anyway, and especially in a football player.
Are you going to be keeping an eye on your phone when they go out for the Christmas party?
No, the boys are good. Got full trust in them. They're good guys.
it's one of those games this weekend, as you said earlier. Everybody's expecting us to go out and beat Tonbridge. Where do you strike the balance between almost getting into the players and trying to make sure that they're not too relaxed, and knowing that they need to be relaxed to play their best stuff?
That's just my job. It's my job, and if through this week, if I feel they need a reminder of standards, then I'll give them that. It'll be the same on Saturday. The message to them's it can't be any different. Go and do what you've been doing. Go and do what you've been doing, and you would like to think that they're knowledgeable enough to double down on the work, and work even harder and keep the standards even higher. And listen, if I need to have a go at them, I'll have a go at them. They know that. If I need to love them, I'll love them as well. That's part of my job.
I suppose it's going back to the original message that you said, that if all of a sudden you start behaving differently now before a game in December, than you have been through most of the rest of the time, then that's not what you want, the road you want to be going down.
You've got to be consistent in your messaging, and it is a bore. You can never get too high and never get too low. Now, so 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I was having a tough time. You just got to go. You just got to stay. Now we're having a good time. I'm not sat in here letting off fireworks and screaming and shouting how good we are. We are what we are.
We've got a free fortnight. I don't know whether everybody uses that word, thing after this. Have you got any thoughts and plans about what you might do with them during those couple of weeks?
Yeah, so the lads all know the schedule. It's not I'd have preferred a game. I would have definitely preferred a game. We've got some bad weather coming in tomorrow. I'm guessing the game will definitely be on, which we need because momentum and finances and stuff. I would definitely rather have a game. It's obviously my fault throughout the trophy. If we did try arranging a league game, but a couple of teams beat us to it. But there is a chance for players who have got the injuries. It's another 2 weeks for them to get fitter, and I think a big thing at the minute is, I've picked the same team 3 games on the trot, which is very rare in football nowadays. So that consistency as well. Maybe those boys, looking at on the positive side of it, this gives them a chance for a rest as well. But too much rest isn't a good thing. You need to keep playing.
And it does mean that hopefully by the time we go to Tottenham, with a bit of luck, possibly Cody might be back in the mix. Ed already back in. You've then got Callum possibly. The squad would hopefully look stronger when you go to Tottenham, even than it is now.
Yeah, I think when we're all fit and available, I think we've got a really good squad. Well, I know we've got a really good squad. The recruitment's been good. Boys have settled in well. It's things are looking positive at the minute, and it's
And you've got Sharples Ahmed and Kieran Wilson until mid-January.
Kieran Wilson's 12th of Jan, Sonny Sharples 4th of Jan.
Oh, 4th, right. Yeah.
And as it stands at the minute, I'd be doing all I can to get them extended. But we'll see how they go. It's a long time till then.